Welcome back, everybody. It is Astro Divine, and we are back with some more Call of Cthulhu. Now, before we really get into it, I just want to quickly make sure that the audio problems are all set up. There's no audio issues, as I was having some minor stuff earlier on, so give me 2 seconds. And it turns out we are all good on the audio front, so we're going to continue through. We're going to load through, get back to chapter 5. Oh, this game has been really keeping my interest, and I wanted to come back to it again. I finally got that urge, that I'm missing, and it's there. So we kind of get to go back into it, keep going with our little story. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to do 2 chapters or not today. I'm a bit tired, so I might only do 1 chapter, but we'll see how we go at the end of it. However, that is besides the point. Yeah, I'm not going to read this one out. We read it out at the end of the last episode, so there's no real need to do that. I'm going to check my emails while I wait for this to load, because I haven't done it today. And not checking your emails is a bad thing to do. You got to always make sure you're up to date. That's right. Just load. Helpful tips from Lachlan Devine. Nothing new. Anime Live advertising 200 more shows. That's kind of interesting. Anything good? Jury on Ice. Never really felt the urge to watch that one, to be completely honest with you. And no, it's not because it's gay. It's because it's fucking sports anime. I've never got the appeal of the sports anime genre. I've tried to watch a few, and there's like niche shite. Like it's not like sports stuff. It's more like it's got that kind of theme to it, but it's not like actual sports anime. We've already seen this cutscene.
There, he's opening his eyes.
We've seen all this in the previous episode. Just went to sleep right away?
What happened to me? Where am I?
Mr. Sanders, you have to come with us.
No, please. I can't leave here.
You got no choice, Sanders, and neither do we.
You don't understand. If I go out, he'll see me. No! No!
You're leaving this cell.
Please. I don't want him to find me.
Okay. Yep, this is what we're up to. Oh shit. This is a dream. This is definitely a dream.
They tracked and hunted me, pursued me right into their dreams. They scribbled all over their maps in the wake of my lonely wanderings.
I think Cthulhu's taken an interest in us.
No sea is dark enough to hide the color of my blood. No wind strong enough to scatter my dreams.
I'm pretty sure one of the big elements is, even if you destroy Cthulhu, he will reform.
When the last of them rises up, you will choose. I will not be here to bear witness to it, because you will have released me. resound to your cries or theirs. Awaken and free me.
Shit.
You there. Wake up. Come on, stand up. We don't have much time. Can you stand up?
Who are you?
A friend of Ethan Bradley. It was he who told me that you had been interned here.
Wait. Bradley is really alive? I don't understand. You filled me so full of drugs I can't distinguish dream from reality.
Please believe that I have nothing to do with these disgraceful treatments. Look, I don't have time to explain everything. I'm not really supposed to be here. And the same goes for you, according to Ethan. You must leave as soon as possible, and as unobtrusively as possible. I've brought you your clothes. Let me go ahead. We'll meet upstairs.
Wait a minute. What's going on here? What do they do to the patients to make them so terrified?
I would really like to know. I only see them when they are brought up for medical treatment, for problems they didn't have before going downstairs. But this is neither the time nor the place to talk about that. We must not stay here. There are 2 men standing guard near the stairs. It's the only way to the floor above. I shall try to distract them, and get at least one to come with me. All you need to do is to follow me as soon as the way is free.
Understood.
Cool. Over. Like any good detective, shove our nose wherever we can. Okay, let's go into the room that's actually going to be interesting.
What does this mean? Am I in an asylum?
Mm-hmm.
Sarah.
Sarah Hawkins.
Why the strange symbol repeated over and over?
The Elder Sign can hide you from the Elder Gods, I'm pretty sure.
What did he write about the painting? What did they inject him with? Sarah Hawkins is on this list of authorized visitors.
Although we found an unexpected clue. Hi.
If I don't get out of here, I'll end up like him.
Oh, he's dead.
Poor wretch.
Another open.
I would like to say that I'm surprised to see you, but we all know that your curiosity will be your ruin.
I don't understand. These people need care. You keep them in this terrible place as if...
Go back upstairs where your patients are waiting for you to treat them. As for you, gentlemen, do not disappoint me anymore. No one enters or leaves.
Yes, Doctor.
Damn it. I'll have to find a way of getting rid of those 2 myself.
Okay.
The machine is working again, but the control wheels haven't been put back on.
I was just going to the storage room. I can bring them to you.
No, Dr. Fuller doesn't want us touching the pressure valves.
As you want.
Good God. What could this machine be used for?
According to the sphere code, the patient seems to be suffering from psychosis. He gouged his own eyes out in an attack of delirium. Francis Sanders, that's the guy that was given the Shambler painting. I'm pretty sure.
It's an ammeter. I didn't expect to see one on this little rock. Have I activated anything?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is there a connection between this corpse and the machine?
Same weird oil that was down below in the cult area.
The corpse is complete. Whose are these limbs? Vats of rotten flesh? An elaborate electrical system? Like a dumb pulp novel. Worse and worse.
Anything hidden behind here?
Zoology, esotericism, mineralogy, and a full shelf on cephalopods.
Interesting.
Sarah Hawkins. She was a patient here.
Sarah Hawkins was interned at Riverside for fits of insanity a while before her death. She wasn't at her first attempt with the fire at the mansion.
Dementia? Self-inflicted wounds?
Yeah, so the husband, the wife spared the husband. Oh, it's another hard spot. Okay.
Anatomy, anthropology, nothing surprising.
Okay.
Burns me. I will not eat it anymore. Never again.
It's done. Now for the others.
Yes, I'm guessing there's...
It's not good.
Guess you need to find multiple switches. What the fuck? Get me in there. I just having a bloody panic attack from being in that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, not 6. 4, 5.
I bet there's no longer any priests on Darkwater.
I found this rosary on the cells and cellars of the Riverside Institute. The representation of the version looks nothing like I've ever seen. I think it's the Cthulhu one.
4 days at most. No more. Perhaps.
What is welling up inside me? I feel it in my head and in my body. He roars and swells and has strength of oceans. His waves rise and crash, leaving behind them only a trail.
If I walk,
White
I do not
noise.
sleep.
Don't let me sleep, dear.
Catch me. If he does not catch me, I do not sleep. If I do not sleep, I do not see him. I do not hear. He does not call me. He does not call.
You. Yeah, you there. Come here.
If I walk,
I don't know what you're doing there, but you don't seem to be friends with the nurses.
What do you want?
Sleep. That's all.
Sleep. You don't want to leave?
No! Have you seen the storm that's brewing? I'm fine here. Except for one problem.
You want sleeping pills, right?
Yeah, and in exchange I can make noise. Lots of noise.
You'll draw the guards to your cell to allow me to escape.
So, you in? Find something to make me sleep, and I'll take care of the guards for you.
I'll find you some pills.
Go look in the storage room. There must be sleeping pills there.
Sweet. Yeah, so he's there. Yep. Other friend is there. Wait, what?
He'll find me. He can see me.
Let's calm down, please.
It's locked.
Pain is just information, dear Francis.
The green gas leaves from here, and it runs through the whole building.
Kill me!
What?
If you don't kill me, he will.
My poor friend, I fear your mind is lost forever.
This padlock is too complicated for me.
Ah, shit. Only points for investigation. 1. Nowhere near enough. It's 6. We'll start leveling up investigation. Though we're going to do it anyway. I saved it because I thought influence would help me more. I've prepared your medicine machine as best I can. However, the piping has been damaged and I feel the gas is escaping. I can not do any more in a short time. All I can do is warn you, if the equipment is put under too much pressure, there is a risk of explosion. Ooh, I like explosions. A thing of...
The control wheel is missing.
In the storage room.
It's impossible to break this chain with my bare hands. A duct. This valve controls the pressure.
Okay. Does that help me at all? That last valve. Okay. Again. Oh. Notice staff. Last week's incident caused significant damage to the infrastructure, putting a stop to certain current experiments. It's unacceptable. From now on, the wheels to operate the gas stockpile must be kept in storage room after each use. She's used up to date. Starts fully. Yeah, storage room. Okay. Go find storage. That's our goal. So that's the exit. We can't go that way naturally. That could have gone bad. Is my investigation still high enough for this one? No.
This
Shit.
padlock is too complicated for me.
That's irritating. Oh shit, oh shit. Question is there anything of use in here? Hard closet.
door is blocked on the other side.
Yeah, then I can later. It's fine.
Theoretically, I've only got one lever to push.
Okay, I've got claustrophobia, that's the problem. Good.
This lever must turn on the gas machine. There's nothing happening.
Need the other valves. Let's do this open anyway, saves us time later.
It's no use. The padlock won't give.
Yeah, I've got the key for it now though.
It's no use. The padlock won't give.
Don't I have the key for the storage room? Maintenance and guards. Oh, it's changed. Occupation is alive despite the crude and deformed appearance. This thing looks like Hawkins. He attacked Bradley after recognizing what could have happened to Charles on the night of the fire. I don't see him in such a state. Something's not right. Officer Bradley's film friend works as general practitioner in Riverdale Institute. I said Riverdale, I'm gonna go with that. She's figured out long before I brother Fuller was involved in this illegal activity. Okay. Oh, my sanity. The ritual. Okay, well, I can't do much else. Shit.
Where do they keep their sleeping pills? Scopolamine? Morphine? Opium? My new friend's sleeping pills. With these chains on your wrist, you can't escape. The door is blocked on the other side.
I don't see the, shit. Medicine time. I only rank 2, right? Yeah, we did. Sweet. Still missing a switch. That's interactable.
What's the connection between this meat and the electrical installation? I've got what you want.
Show me!
There. And remember, they don't come for free.
Don't you worry, you'll have your diversion. Go on now, go hide yourself. The crows! They're everywhere! Make them go away! Help! Help! Help!
What now?
The birds! They're attacking!
That nonsense again.
What carnage.
Jesus, okay.
All the levers are activated.
Sick. Maybe this will do something.
This machine seems to consume a great deal of electricity. What will happen if I increase the current to the limit? That should draw the attention of the guards. I should hide.
Damn it!
Oh, I was going to say, that looks broken.
You there!
Such my cruisy escape.
Doctor, is that you?
Don't you worry about the doctor. Right now, he'll have plenty to keep him busy with his precious machine. It gives us time to get away. I'll undo you.
Get away? Get away where? I can't go anywhere. It'll find me, like it found me here. You're mistaken about the beast. Don't stay with me, or you'll end up the same way.
You're Sanders, aren't you? I heard you from my cell. What did they do to you? What does Fuller want with you?
The doctor? You think it's the doctor who scares me? The doctor wants to heal me. But he's the one who's crazy. He wants to restore my sight. He wants to give me back my eyes. And yet I told him that I didn't want them. I do not want to see it anymore. The real culprit is Sarah. Her and her accursed paintings.
You're kidding me. You're talking about Sarah Hawkins.
The one and only. The legendary. There is no artist more enlightened or cursed than Sarah Hawkins.
In her office, I saw signs of a ritual, perhaps an invocation. These things, that's what makes you say she's cursed.
You're wrong. It was not an invocation, but a revocation. But she failed. And that's what counts.
What's going on this island?
I'm so sorry. We should never have met.
What are you talking about?
Destiny! It has trapped you. Don't let it see you, or you won't be able to escape it. Don't look at it. That's how it finds you.
Because once you look into the abyss, it can look at you.
Hawkins visitor.
The Shambler. Let's go.
Sanders, pull yourself together.
Without her, it's no longer possible to save me.
No!
Sanders! What the hell?
Don't look.
I gotta... Okay. This is insane. What killed him?
The Shambler did, my dude. One of the more interesting creatures. Who the fuck? When does this vanish? Okay, color me a little bit confused. I wanted me to walk through the gas.
Damn! The gas! Oh. My head.
Later. We need to move on.
No, that was only chapter 5 was really short. Damn. Yeah, we'll do the chapter 6 again then. Pierce woke up in an asylum, installed in the cells of the Riverside Institute. He met Dr. Corden, a female friend of Bradley, who helped him to escape. Wandering through the corridors of this place where Dr. Fleur reigned supreme, he was able to talk to a man called Francis Sanders. Before dying in his full-view detective, he accused Sarah Hawkins of being the cause of his torments. Pierce finally left the accursed building accompanied by Bradley and Colden. The companions in misfortune decide to use the Hawkins mansion as a hideout. Ho ho ho.
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
First of all, nice. Second of all, I am shaken. Francis Sanders knew Sarah Hawkins so well that he accused her of being the source of his suffering. The man gouged his eyes out with his own hands and speared the walls and cell with I can't say that word. He was seen to be set with a shambler linked to Sarah Hawkins. He died before my eyes in circumstances I cannot explain. Strictly speaking, I didn't spend much time in the hospital. When I woke up, I was merely transferred into the cells of the Institute, a sort of clandestine asylum, where Dr. Fuller carried out experiments on patients without being troubled. Unknown machines sit by size anatomical drawings that are disturbing to say the least. I just managed to escape from this place. I might not be lucky next time.
That is precisely why I'll find evidence.
Fine. Do what you want.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Shit.
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
Seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, and chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes, I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan. And I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904.
It all comes back to that fucking boat.
Before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
I do. But I can't get anything else from you right now.
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway,
True.
let's get back to the business at hand.
I have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
There was that Dr. Fuller and a nurse. Blood everywhere. My legs, the pain, I couldn't bear it. I was screaming. They injected me with something. I woke up at the Institute. Bradley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You should believe it, Ethan. What Mr. Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove. Did you discover anything else?
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course. He's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what, but something was there, with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
I don't know. I like Bradley.
He's right. We can't ignore the truth.
But it could drive her mad.
Better madness than ignorance. Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
Oh, it's fine to leave. Cool. Oh, I don't want to leave straight away. Oh. Okay. Pearson, Calder, and Bradley decide to team up to solve the hero Sarah Hawkins case. They have a new trailer follow. Francis Sanders, an art collector and friend of the painter, who died right in front of Pierce. The detective goes to his house in order to speak to the widow about the shambler, but the unfortunate man, met before he died. Yeah, we all know what the shambler is, boys. Come on. Fucking classic. I'm really enjoying this. If you can't tell by my interest and my excitement, a lot of the stuff they've been like teasing and hinting, I'm really enjoying this. Seriously, this is it's masterfully done with detail. That's really nice to those that know what's going on. I guess if you're not a big buff into the Cthulhu world and you're not a fan of these more walking-based dialogue things, you might not be too big in it. But if you are, this game is incredible.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may.
Okay.
However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well. Look who's here.
Oh, it's Cat.
You know each other. Our paths crossed, briefly. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me. You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later. Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
I do.
May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband.
Yesterday. I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
I don't have that high enough to do it. Wait, can I do it?
What happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course. Thank you for your kind words.
Oh, baby.
Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my mind.
Yeah.
I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
Mrs. Sanders, I understand your grief, and I extend my deepest condolences to you. But I had nothing to do with the death of your husband. I've just arrived on Darkwater. I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
The death of the Hawkins family?
Eloquence, my
it was not
dudes.
an accident? This accursed island knows only tragedy after tragedy. You too would be advised to flee it like the plague. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it, I would urge you to make the most of your visit. Because I count on ridding myself of that thing as soon as I can.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Cool. Oh. Yeah. Keep investigation going. That was good to have that level 3, and that, again, elegance coming out. Very, very helpful. Chamber is a painting, Owen Sandler's, no, yeah, hates. Okay. Nothing too important. Dr. Fuller, and Owen Sandler. What's the new knowledge we got?
The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
Oh, what? What? I can reconstruct them here? First of all, let's get that. Secondly, let's reconstruct them. Don't know why I can, but let's do it.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
Okay. Interesting.
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? A house of artists. A house of artists. He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? He didn't want Sanders to have the painting. She must have felt devastated. She despises Sarah Hawkins, but it's the painting she truly hates. Why?
Ah!
The Shambler. I need to see it.
You sure? I mean, it made the guy rip out his eyes
Did
out.
you really care for him after all?
Dim Adam, except, so Fuller won't let him. Fuller won't let her have the body.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Ooh. Interesting. Locked. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. You just look around your house. I ain't trying to do much, sir. I promise. Locked. Locked.
A strange Amerindian pendant.
Yes. Well on the cod. Here's your It is focused on the passcode of the island.
I could use one of those.
They're everywhere, those pills.
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
Forget the Shambler. She hated the idea of
An
having it.
old diary.
Villain speaks sometime of Reverend Wickham's community. His wife's Hawaii's outstanding. Strange dreams that the Reverend's congregation. Some members of the community, her husband included, began to speak of their vision as a sin. No suffer from lost tribe.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I have a well-off client in Boston who heard about the death of Francis Sanders and wanted me to size up his estate before making an offer to his widow.
Perfect, Detective. The pretext? The body language? I would have bought it if it was the first time I'd seen your face. You're a good talker, Pierce. Your story will do for the moment.
So she's actually impressed with it.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
Definitely look at.
Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
Okay. What? Would you read the book? Fuck it, we're reading the book. Exist. Oh, bruh. This ain't Necronomicon. Ah. Yeah, our sanity's probably not doing good. I'm just saying. Shaken. Okay, we're selling it shaken. The orders you're going through, let's mark. We still as you can. Oh, let's just put this. Bro, I'm actually gonna be driven insane. The dimensional shambler comes from the dark and has extension, with a variety of features stated. Yeah, I love this creature. This is why it's in constant state of readiness to travel to another dimension in order to feed. that's so fucking cool. I'm just sending a snap to one of my mates. But should this happen, you just have to lay your eyes upon it for its being to anchor itself to your dimension and allow it to rip your open claws. Yeah, that's why you wanted to have his eyes torn out. I'm pretty sure he already saw it. But the Elder Sign prevents as a way of hiding him. Men will gather the knowledge through their lines dictated to me by the great old ones, but also in other volumes. The visions that assail me whisper me names and silhouettes of mystical creatures. Soon the Malleus Monstrum, repository of all anatomical, cosmic, and dimensional knowledge, will be seen as the authoritative work. The book, unholy among the most cursed books, will one day have a final rampart. Yeah. Hello. The books in book for relevant. Medicine. So our occult is at 24%. And our occultism is going up. Wait. Our expert's 4, master's 5. Okay. I get it. Okay. Oh. I can hide in this room. Okay, he was clearly into the occult. I can see it over there, but that's the last thing we'll look at.
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Once again, the statue. Seriously, this game is almost a love letter to the mythos. It's in the artwork.
The public entrance to the gallery. Why was he so interested in old weapons?
It's not a commercial dagger, my dude. This is without doubt my favourite zone so far. All the others have been really good, but this is just fucking
The man
awesome.
transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Dedication, my dude. Okay. This is going to go terribly. It's the layout of the last episode. When you look into the abyss and you see inside it, the abyss can then see you. It's the same idea with this creature. When you see the Shambler, it can then see you. Run and don't look. Oh, you fucked yourself.
What the hell was that? No way out. No choice. I must get rid of it.
I already know how to do it. The answer is going to be the burnt painting. I have a strange feeling.
That thing came out of this painting. There has to be a link.
Yeah, why can't I burn it?
Maybe if I destroy it.
Yeah, can I burn it, please?
That thing came out of this painting. There has to be a link. Maybe if I destroy it.
Well, it wouldn't let me burn it. So... you should just run away from it. I don't get it.
There has to be a link. Maybe if I destroy it. Down. I could try tearing the painting with this thing. Damn it! This dagger didn't work.
Fuck's sake. Just gonna be trial and error until I get lucky. Is it really gonna have how it is?
Damn it! I have to use a specific dagger.
Yeah, I'm more than aware of the specific dagger factor, my dude. Which dagger? This one. This one's got actual glowing symbols near it. Maybe it's that one, 'cause it's got the two things next to it. Oh no. Oh, come on. I'm dead. God damn it.
What the hell was that?
So, so full disclosure, I've searched up how to, beat the Shambler. Yeah, I'm already a little bit irritated by how this is how this fight has been mechanically designed. Especially when the fucker's AI is programmed incredibly unfairly. I'm dead.
Damn. Did it hear that?
That's Thor.
This dagger looks different.
What's the matter with you? You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
I can't do that. I hate that you can't. How do you get it that high?
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I still got things to settle with Irene.
Thank you, Kat. Shamba turned out to be much more than an artwork painting painted by Sarah Hawkins, as a huge creature came out of the painting to attack Pierce. After a hard fight, the detective managed to send it back to the painting. He later discovered the dagger he used to repel the creature had been sold to Sanders by a man named Algren Drake, owned of the nameless bookstore. Pierce decided to pay him a visit. There's 4 endings in this game. Fuck. I might go for mine right now. We'll go through this opening cutscene like we did before. To kind of open up to the Oh, no cutscene. Cool.
Where's the book?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure my sanity is, it is in Francis Sanders' Pierce has got the identity of the Shambler. Yeah. Look, its design was awesome, and I really appreciated it. Seriously, I did. However, as a gameplay mechanic, that dagger shit is, again, I found that out because I searched up a quick guide because I was like, I'm not gonna bother. I know I need to grab a dagger, but I had no idea what the specific one was. I should have probably pieced together it was the Elder Sign, just off basic knowledge of the series. That said, I wasn't in the mood to try and just yeet around grabbing every dagger in the area and just die repeatedly because of it. Anyway, thanks for watching this one, guys. It ended a little bit bitterly, and I hate when that happens. Don't worry, it's not like Fallen Order. I'm not leaving completely pissed off. I still enjoyed the general designs and stuff. It was good. It was actually good. There's a lot more world building story stuff. We're getting more of a picture of what's happening, which is good. I'm starting to piece it together in my head. That's awesome. I'm loving figuring this shit out. It's been really fun. We'll keep going though. We won't have an episode tomorrow night, but we should have one on the night afterwards, and then continuing like normal. I want to keep getting these episodes out to you guys. There are a total of 14 chapters, so the rate we're going, we've got another 4 episodes to go, so we're about halfway through this series, through our little series. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.